Welcome to CAC Live on KQCK Live. You are here today with Dora Tompkins, and we're talking with Jerry Dale. Tom DiCamillo had taken a week off this week, attending a conference, but he'll be back next week for CAC Live. So welcome to our show. Welcome, Jerry. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. I brought my youngest daughter, Marie, with me today. She wanted to come and see the animals and everything that's outside. So it's good to be here. You happy to be here?
Welcome, Marie, as well. Well, as those of you that have listened to this show before and have had me as a host, you know that we get to talk about fun stuff when we're here, especially with Jerry. So today's show, we're going to talk about the upcoming events at the Penn Center and our 13-14 season. So, we start our season in August, and we have shows going all the way through May, and then we take a few months off in the summer, and here we are getting ready for this beautiful, awesome upcoming season. So, but before we even go there, just recently, Jerry just came off of a high of doing lots of graduations and pinning ceremonies, and I don't know how many more things you can do in that center. And those of you that don't know, the Penn Center is available for rent. So, what's that like?
Oh, we've had everything I think you can imagine, but I'm sure somebody's out there imagining something else. With the new Pence, everybody just loves the way it looks and the functionality, and it's just a great place to be. And so we've had everything from the Imagine School in Coolidge. They did their kindergarten graduation, 100 little kindergartners graduating at our school, all the way through Mission Heights High School. They just did their graduation, and everything in between. So the Pence is available. We try to give absolutely the best support you can, and every event, no matter who it is, what age it is, we try to give people a lasting memory. And when that happens and it all gels and it works, it's great for everybody. Yeah. It is. It's really a good time. So, yes, we are very busy. We've been very busy, but there's always room for more. There's always room for more.
Well, good. Well, here comes the more. So we're starting off our season this year with an improv invitational in August and an R&B concert. So we have an artist named Paris Milan coming to the Penn Center, starting us off on August 30th with her My Style tour. She is fairly new to the field and a young artist, and she's touring and trying to get her name out there, and we're excited to have her and be part of her coming up and getting her out there. So we're excited about that. But of all the things that are coming up, Jerry, is there something that you're looking forward to the most?
Actually, it's been a few years since I've worked with any kind of a big band, and so the Jimmy Dorsey Orchestra, I'm really looking forward to that. When we were looking at the season of what could be brought in, and we try to bring in a variety. No two shows are alike. Different flavors, different nationalities, and the big band. I know everybody likes it. I love it personally, and so I'm sure that's going to sell out. I'm certain the Jimmy Dorsey Orchestra, when that gets out in the public that we're doing it, we're going to be packed.
And I think today is the day when we get it out to the public. So you guys are the first ones to hear.
That's right.
And yes, the Jimmy Dorsey Orchestra is coming to the Penns this fall.
It's going to be great. I just know it.
Yeah. In fact, we have a couple of phone calls we're going to be making today in talking to some artists and presenter colleague that we have. So we will be talking to the voice of the Jimmy Dorsey Orchestra today, Nancy Knorr, and then we'll also be talking to Randy Sparks, who is with the New Christy Minstrels. So that's another group that's going to be coming to CAC and to the Penns this fall. And then we'll round out our hour here today by talking to our co-presenter Mike Petit, who will talk about all the other premiere shows with this hour. So we're excited to introduce you to these artists and let you know more about these upcoming shows. Well, besides some of these, we have as you know, we have a diverse set of offerings every year. We're also included 2 shows for little kids this year. Last year we had a puppet show, yes. And it was really great.
That was I thought, it's going to be a puppet show. It's going to be cute and all, but everybody enjoyed it, no matter what age they were. It wasn't just for the little kids. It was a good story. It was very entertaining. And then afterwards, we got to meet the performers, and they showed us some of the puppets and some of the tricks of their trade. It was just a really good event. It was good to have.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I was shocked that, I don't know, in this last year when they did the show, they had like 4 or 5 characters in the actual play or puppet show, and there were only 2 actors. I was like, wait, I thought there were more people back there.
That's right. That's right.
They're good.
Yeah, and it's funny because when I saw them starting to just do a little rehearsal beforehand, and they're sort of climbing over each other behind the wall that so you can't see the performers, but they had it timed so perfectly. It was just seamless. It was really cool to see in the background.
Yeah. Well, this fall we're going to have the Great Arizona Puppet Theater back, and they're going to do Cinderella. So I'm excited. All the little girls and boys, come on out and enjoy Cinderella. And then we're going to have them come back again in the spring, in January. And then they're going to do the 3 Billy Goats Gruff show. So
classic.
Definite classics.
Mm-hmm.
So we're excited to have them. And we're excited to have that be part of the season, to have something for little kids as well. So, well, what else is there? We've known Benny for a long time. He's grown up in Coolidge. This gentleman who is now with the Ballet Folklorico Costa de Oro. This is a dance group out of San Francisco. Mm-hmm. And I know, Jerry, you've known Benny for a while.
Yeah, I met Benny about 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And we've done, I think maybe 1, maybe 2, but we've been talking about doing something a little bit larger, and this is the culmination of getting a bigger show here from his group. It should be, there's singing and dancing and music, and it's all live.
Yeah.
And it should be pretty great to see.
Yes, I'm really excited. Benny has worked in Coolidge for a while and putting on local shows. So he does these workshops and teaches kids on how to do ballet folklorico and music and dance, and then they have a little show. So we're excited to have him back and now bring his professional troupe. So I think 17 dancers will be on that stage. So it's exciting.
And I know he one of the things he talked about was coming home and be able to basically perform to the home crowd. And bringing the folks that he works with,
right.
saying, look at what he's done over
right.
the years. So
right.
it's a good homecoming.
Yeah.
Plus, it's like I said, it's going to be a great show.
Yeah, it's a troupe that travels all around, especially the Southwest. They've been to Mexico many times, and the show that they'll be putting on for us this year is called A Night in Mexico, and. Rest assured, there'll be lots of colors,
Mm-hmm.
lots of music, and beautiful dancing. So definitely mark October 12th as your date for that.
Sure.
And if we're also celebrating Hispanic Heritage Month during that time, so hopefully that could be something that you come out for and enjoy the show. So. Well, that's one of the things I'm excited about. I'm excited about Ballet Folklorico, and the next show that's coming up in the fall that I'm really excited about is Letters Home.
Mm-hmm.
And Letters Home is going to be one of 2 fundraising special shows next year. So we have this very exciting model of doing 2 shows for charity. And Letters Home will be a charity for our Veterans Scholarship or Veterans Organization on campus. Letters Home is a unique play where current wars, there are letters that were written from soldiers from the current wars of Afghanistan and Iraq, and it really is centered by bringing a life of actual letters written by soldiers from the Middle East into this production that had been produced and been put on in New York, and there were lots of really amazing media coverage about this show. There was a subsequent HBO documentary about the actual script of this show, and so here it is live with from the Griffin Company, and producing this beautiful show about life and love and what it feels like to be a soldier.
And there might be some people out there going, oh, this is about Iraq and Afghanistan and all the horrors that are over there, which there have been. But this is also inspiring,
yeah.
And there's points that are, funny. While those guys are, the men and women are over there dealing with things every single day, there are sometimes lighter moments, and so having those things and humorous moments, and I think everybody's seen things like on YouTube having the military folks doing these funny comical things, and so with the letters home, we get some of the funny stuff. Yes, there's some serious stuff, but also the anecdotal and just all that stuff comes from the heart, and you'll get a mix of very inspiring to humorous to some serious. Yes,
right. Yeah, and we haven't seen the play, but we're excited to see it and see what it is. But we know that it's not going to be political. It's not going to be giving out any sort of messages. I think it's about life. It's about humans. It's about who we are. And last time I was here, we were talking with Dr. John Owens a little bit about art in general, and he made this statement that really has stuck with me about how art is how we express ourselves as humans, and that we have a need for that. And so I'm excited that this is going to be something where we can see the expressions of who we are as humans through these letters home. So
that's true.
So I'm excited about this show. There will be actually 2 of them back to back. So they'll be doing a matinee and an evening performance on that Saturday when they're coming. So that'll be in November, and I look forward to all of you coming out and supporting it. We'll have a VIP ticket as well. That'll be at a higher price range, and all the proceeds will go towards supporting veterans wanting to come to CAC and study. So. Well, that's Letters Home. We'll continue on talking about our fall performances with a show coming up for Native American Heritage Month, which will be the Yellowbird Dancers. Yellowbird has come to CAC before. I'm not sure they haven't performed in the Pence yet before, though.
I haven't worked with them yet.
Yeah, they have performed for us at the Superstition Mountain campus and also at Signal Peak campus, but out in the at a fair atmosphere where we were doing a Native American celebration. And this time we've asked if they would do a full performance, a 90-minute full show of dancing and hoop dancing and whatever else that they can put together for us. And what I really love about Yellowbird Productions is that they don't only just come out and dance, but they explain and they talk to us about it, and they tell us what the meaning is. And what's beautiful is that some of these dances we would never have the opportunity to see unless you were on the reservation or you were a part of that tribe. And we get to have a sneak peek of what it's like and what the history is and the culture is. Mm-hmm. So I'm excited.
Yeah, it's been the last time I actually was associated with something like this, it's been probably 20 years. The Tahana Autumn and Autumn Tosh would be done in Casa Grande for years and years and years. And the old high school, there was a performance. But like I said, that's been probably 20 years. Yeah. So it'll be great to have those folks on our campus in our new facility.
Yeah, and I can't say enough about the Yellowbird Productions. They have performed for the president. They were invited to be part of the Olympics opening ceremony to represent Native Americans. They have some amazing accolades under their belt. They have many of the hoop dancers are, as you know, there's all kinds of competitions, and so there's world champion hoop dancers that will be part of this show. So I'm really excited to have this group come out. Well, we just have a few more minutes before we get to have someone on the phone. So I just want to mention real quick of another charity special that we're going to have in the spring. And that is for our rodeo team. And we're going to bring out all the cowboys and cowgirls in Pinal County and anywhere else to come and listen to Baxter Black. Baxter Black is an amazing, famous person, and I have to tell you, I was raised in the city, and I haven't been around much of the rodeo plays. But being in Pinal County, and I've started going to rodeos, it's so much fun, seeing the bulls and the horses and that whole scene. So, have you guys been to a rodeo?
We actually live near the rodeo grounds in Casa Grande.
Oh, right.
And so we went and saw they were roping. They were roping steer, right? They were doing that, and all the horses and trailers, and it's just a really fun atmosphere.
Well, Baxter Black he's a veterinarian, and he turned into a poet, rural philosopher, and a funny man, and a TV personality. He has a radio show, he has a TV show, he has He has a column that he writes, so he's really well known in the cowboy rural world of America. And so we're very excited to have him. And this charity special will support the rodeo team of CAC, which is a really good team. They're doing really good. They're winning championships, and they don't really have any sort of any support from the kind of support that like basketball or some of the other teams have, because the students have to take care of their own horses and all of that. So it's sort of it's one of those things that we're excited to help them out, and excited to have Baxter Black come out and give us some of his poetry and some of his thoughts about life, which I definitely think will be both inspirational and funny. So we're looking forward to that. Well, we're getting close to the time to go ahead and call Nancy Knorr with the Jimmy Dorsey Orchestra. So we'll get her on the line here in just a minute. We have Jojo here with us today, who's going to give her a call. And while we're waiting to get her on the line, just want to let you know that they are coming on Valentine's Day, February 14th. So what a beautiful night to bring your sweetheart to out at the college.
Yep.
So we're excited to, we specifically were hoping to have a nice Valentine's Day concert. So definitely lovers and those that just want to get their mind off of Valentine's Day, I guess.
Right. That's right. And thinking, as I said earlier, I just know that that's going to sell out. So folks are going to want to get their tickets, as soon as possible. Pence, we seat just over 600 seats. And there's not a bad seat in the house, and the acoustics in there are wonderful. So the music is not, you're not going to just see the instrumentation, the musicians playing. You're not only going to hear it, but you're going to feel it, and it's going to be a great night for that kind of event.
Nancy, do we have Nancy?
Hello.
Hello, Nancy. This is Dora Tompkins. You are on CAC Live, on KQCK Live. My name is Dora Tompkins. I'm your host today, and here I am with Jerry Deal. He's our technical director at the Don P. Pence Center for the Visual and Performing Arts. And Nancy, you are with the Jimmy Dorsey Orchestra, and I believe you are the vocalist with them. Welcome to our show.
That's right.
Welcome.
Thank you so much.
Well, Nancy, we're excited to have you on the line. We're of course very much excited to have you guys come. I know it's not until February of 2014, but we are very excited to have you as our Valentine's Day event out at the college, and have Jimmy Dorsey come out and do their big band music. So maybe if we could ask you to start us off by telling us a little bit about, what your show might be like once you're out in Coolidge with us.
Well, typically, for the Jimmy Dorsey Orchestra, we'll be doing almost all of the Jimmy Dorsey hits and a few other band hits along the way, because a lot of the bands had hits on very many of the same songs. But music that basically started with Jimmy Dorsey in the late 30s, going right through to the mid-50s, to the last and greatest hit of the big band era with June 9th. And So Rare.
That's wonderful. Yeah, we've been talking with Jerry here about how excited we are to have a big band as part of our season. So,
great.
You've been doing vocals for the orchestra for how long, Nancy?
I've been with the Jimmy Dorsey Orchestra for over 20 years. I actually own the trademark to the legendary Jimmy Dorsey Orchestra, keeping it alive and well in the style and class that it was back in the day of the 40s, and when Jimmy was running the band. So we're very proud to keep it ongoing and keep this music happening.
Yeah, well, you mentioned the history. What an amazing history. I was reading about you guys. You started back in 1904, and you're still around, and you pass on a tradition from different directors to different directors as the years pass on. But what an amazing history. What does it mean to you to be part of something that has been around for so long?
Well, I do feel very special about that, because it is American history. This is American music. The big bands were born and raised in the United States, and certainly gravitated all around the world. Even today, other cultures tend to even uphold the jazz and big band music even more than what we do in the United States. And yet, it's our American music. Tommy Dorsey and, of course, brother Jimmy started in the middle of Pennsylvania with a love of music, one on trombone, Tommy on trombone, Jimmy on saxophone, started their band together. And then as siblings would have it, they argued quite a bit. They were Irish and had Irish temper. And in the mid-30s, they split. And then we ended up with two legendary bands, of course, the Jimmy Dorsey Orchestra, and Tommy had many hits as well on his own. So Jimmy had more hits than brother Tommy during the heyday of the band. He even had more hits on the jukebox than Glenn Miller did.
Right. Wow, that's amazing. Nancy, I know this is kind of a silly question, but I thought maybe for our younger listeners, would you tell us a little bit about what big band style music is? How many members in the orchestra, and how would you describe that music for them?
I'm sorry, I didn't catch that. What I've done, you say, or?
Oh no, I was sort of asking you to describe big band style music for our younger audience. Just tell us a little bit about the orchestra, what kind of instruments you all have in there, how many members?
Yes. Well, the big bands consisted of anywhere from 16 to 18 musicians. They truly were, and for our sake, still is, a big band. We have six brass, which consists of 3 trumpets, 3 trombones, 5 reeds, which consists of clarinet and saxophone and flute, and these musicians have to be able to play all of those instruments, not just one. And of course, your rhythm section consists of your drummer, your upright bass player, and of course, a piano player. A band leader, a vocalist. In those early days, they carried a boy singer, a girl singer, and in most cases, they also had an entire vocal group. And so it was really quite a large organization. The musicians tended to be quite young. They were naturally gifted, talented, and they brought all of their talents to each band. And some of them played with a lot of the different bands. Some of them just decided to stay with one band. For instance, Frank Sinatra started with Harry James. Then he moved over to brother Tommy. Helen O'Connell was the girl singer with Jimmy, and she stayed with Jimmy and Bob Eberle. So, it wasn't just the history of the music, it was the history of the musicians that brought their talents to fans.
That's great. Thank you so much for telling us about it, Nancy. Well, you said you've been with the orchestra for 20 years. Would you tell us a little bit about yourself? How did you get started? What was your inspiration to pursue a career in music and vocals?
Actually, I'm originally from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and my parents were musicians, certainly part of that era. My mother sang. She played the piano. That was basically a stay-at-home mom. Dad was a music teacher, musician, trombone, piano. He did travel with the bands during those days. He arranged for the bands and was very involved with all of the people of the era. Many of the musicians came from Pittsburgh. Dad worked with them. He played with them. Good friends with a gentleman by the name of Sammy Messico, was from Pittsburgh, friend of Dad's, and he wrote for Frank Sinatra. So these were my beginnings as a young person. So I think I had some pretty good credentials with who I knew and what I got involved with. My first instrument was the viola. My background was classical. I also started with the vocal group from the Tommy Dorsey Orchestra called the Pied Pipers. That is the group that Frank started with, has a lot of big hits with. I also own the trademark to the Pied Pipers, and we still tour the country as well. Now, my brother happens to be the leader of the Jimmy Dorsey Orchestra, Bill Toll, T-O-L-E. Needless to say, He's my older brother, but again, coming from a musical family. Bill was with the Airmen and Notes, which was the Glenn Miller Orchestra of the Air Force. He traveled with Warren Covington. He was in New York, did all the studio work in New York, went to Los Angeles, recording artist for decades in Los Angeles, and actually played the part of Tommy Dorsey in the movie New York, with Liza Minnelli and Robert De Niro. So we're bringing siblings back in front of the band again, coming to Coolidge. I happen to live in Arizona now. Okay. Been here 4 years. My brother and his wife moved here about 7 years ago. So we're bringing our music now that we're residents of Arizona.
Great. Well, it's wonderful to have you on the radio show, Nancy. We really appreciate your time. And we're looking forward to your show coming up in February 14th, on Valentine's Day at the Penn Center. Just one last question before we let you go, and just, you know, as an entertainer, I'm sure, and you say you travel a lot, but what about when you choose to be entertained? What do you like to watch? What genre or style of music do you listen to?
Basically, this is my music. Again, I grew up with it, so I wasn't born during that era. That's what we listen to in the household, though, because of my parents. I love all aspects of music. I have a degree in music. Love classical music, but not necessarily fond of what's going on today. But you know what? As the old saying goes, cream always rises to the top. When something is good, it's going to stay on forever. And with the likes of Michael Bublé and Harry Connick Jr. and even Rod Stewart has done many albums, and they've gone platinum in the American songbook style. So the younger artists and younger people are gravitating to this music because it'll last forever.
Great.
Yeah, actually, Rod Stewart, one of his more recent albums is going back to the big band. I mean, he's playing that kind of music again. It's been around for many years, and it's going to still move around because
it has. I mean, even Brian Setzer, he's still running with a whole big band, and so he might have singing downstage and playing his guitar. He's doing jazz, he's doing big band, he's doing swing, and the younger people don't realize that when they hear a song like "It Had to Be You," they think it's new.
Yeah.
But that song was written in 1939. So we're just rekindling the style and the sound of yesteryear with a new look. And that's what we have to do in any good business. We just reinvent the wheel.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's right.
Well, great. Thank you so much, Nancy. We appreciate your time, and we'll look forward to meeting you in February of next year.
That'll sound great, Dora. Thank you so much.
Thanks,
Nancy.
Bye-bye.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Well, thank you, everyone, for listening to CAC Live on KQCK Live with Dora Tompkins sitting in for Tom DeCamillo, talking with Jerry Dale, Technical Director of the Penn Center. We are reviewing our 13-14 season for our upcoming performing arts at the Penn Center. And we'll take a few minutes break with some commercials. Jojo, you ready to do that? And we'll be right back.
Are you experiencing computer problems? Is your computer running slow, bogged down with viruses and spyware? You need a reliable and knowledgeable, trustworthy computer service company. Contact Computers, Networks, and More, located in Santan Valley. Get your computer or laptop running in top condition by a certified technician with 20-plus years experience and beta tester from Microsoft. Computers, Networks, and More provides repairs and solutions to any computer-related issue, whether it's software, installation, troubleshooting, updates, or tune-ups. You can trust Computers, Networks, and More. Contact Jeff, Monday through Saturday, 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. to schedule an appointment. We can have you up and running quickly, usually within 48 hours. Located in Santan Valley, computers, networks, and more. We're here for you. Contact Jeff at 480-729-8899. That's 480-729-8899. Our family pets are such a big part of our lives. That's why Kelly's Critter Clips of Queen Creek and Sun Lakes has been providing pet grooming services for over 10 years. Your dog's comfort is very important to us, so we take the time to treat your pet with care, love, and professional attention it deserves. We welcome any size and breed and feature shampoo and conditioning, styling, flea and tick dips, ear cleaning, nail trimming, and so many other services that will leave your pet looking good and smelling good and feeling great, all at an affordable price. Located in Queen Creek and Sun Lakes, call now for an appointment, 480-655-5066. Kelly's Critter Clips. When you visit Hill Family Dentistry in Santan Valley, dentist Dr. Tim Hill provides each patient with personalized, gentle care that you deserve. Our entire team is dedicated to providing you and your family with services that will make you smile. With a full range of general, cosmetic, and specialty dentistry services that will keep you and your family smiling. Our commitment to our community is to provide outstanding oral health. Hill Family Dentistry is located on 36359 Gansell Road in Santan Valley, diagonally across from Banner Ironwood Hospital. Evening and weekend appointments available. We accept most insurances and have in-office policies available for non-insured. Contact us today at 480-588-8127. Hill Family Dentistry.
Welcome back to Stacy Live on KQCK Live with Dora Tompkins, sitting in for Tom DeCamillo, talking with Jerry Deal, Technical Director of the Penn Center, about our 13-14 season.
Yep, and happy to be here with especially my little girl, Marie.
Hello, Marie.
Hello.
We just got done talking to Nancy Knorr from the Jimmy Dorsey Orchestra. What a treat to get to know her a little bit. And we just found out that this is another musical family. We were just talking with Jerry about lots of musical families.
That's right. That's right. Keeping the legend go on. It's a wonderful thing. Also, I was talking. When you mentioned about the youth and their music. So many of the groups today, whether it's R&B, rap, pop music, a lot of them add instrumentation behind them. Now, granted, it's not going to be 16 instruments because that's very, very expensive. But, seeing a trumpet and a trombone and those instruments behind these artists is becoming very, very common. Yeah. And it's a great thing. And to keep those musicians working in the field and doing music, it's just a great thing. Yeah. It's just a great thing that we still have it, and it's going to continue on. And Marie's going to start playing her own music next year. She's decided on which one. What did you decide to start playing next year?
Oh, clarinet.
Clarinet. She's going to start the clarinet next year.
That's great.
So maybe in a few years, you'll be on stage.
That's right.
Well, maybe.
She is part of the musical family of the Deals, of the theatrical and musical family. So that I think you have to follow in the footsteps of your cousins and uncles and aunts and
I don't know.
Mom and Dad.
I don't know. I'm thinking about becoming an artist.
Good.
She is a great artist.
Well, one of my dreams is to once present hip hop violinist Sweat. That would be really cool.
I don't know that.
He is amazing.
Really?
He's a violinist and he does classical music with this beautiful hip hop sort of twist to it, and I think that would bring some generations together.
I think so.
But not this year. This year, one other artist that I want to mention to you all is we are going to bring Darius Wallace, who is a one-man show, and he's going to do Frederick Douglass, Story Road to Freedom, in February. So we're really excited to have him come and perform music, dance, song, and prose and poetry, all in telling the story of Frederick Douglass. So we're excited to have that show be part of the season. Have you seen many one-man shows, Jerry?
I've seen a few over the years, things like Will Rogers and those things, and to have that one person on stage to capture an audience for an hour and a half, it has to be special, so you don't lose the audience. And by mixing music with prose and those kind of things, to hold an audience, and then to talk about Frederick Douglass, who is so important in our American history. It should draw some folks and tell a story that's important to tell.
Yeah, and definitely we're hoping that high schoolers as well as all the way to senior citizens will come out, and we will be presenting him at 5 p.m. and at 7 p.m. So that way, it is a shorter show, but that way we can get those of you that are taking classes to come on in before and after class and be part of this historical event. Frederick Douglass is a prominent figure in African American history, but he's an extremely influential author and lecturer in American history, and he really stands for liberty and freedom for all of us. And I think it's a great way for us all to be inspired by his example and legend. So
That's right.
So we're excited for that. Well, we're getting real close to the time to call Randy Sparks with the New Christy Minstrels. The New Christy Minstrels, I'm sure you've heard of. It's another amazing band that has been around for a long time. And they will be representing our folk artist for this season. We're excited to have a folk group like that come. I believe they're celebrating 52 years.
Wow. I wouldn't be surprised. They were at CAC probably 5 years ago, maybe longer ago. It was before I returned back to the area from Ohio. So some of the folks in the area might remember going to that concert, and so they're going to do some of the traditional stuff and maybe some of their newer stuff. So they're still out touring all over the country.
That's great. Yeah. We're Jojo's just getting him on the line, and we'll be talking with Randy Sparks. He is the leader of the band currently, and has been since he was the founder as well. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, we're excited to have him on. The New Christy Minstrels will be performing at the Penn Center on January 17th at 7 p.m. It's a Friday night, and we'll be having a wonderful show with them. Hello, Randy. How are you doing? Randy, are you on the line?
Can you hear? Oh, can you hear me? I can just barely hear you.
Yes,
we have a bad connection after all this.
I know.
Thank you, Joe Benson. I'm standing here with Randy. Okay, let's go some other place in the place. Hey, Randy.
Hi.
I'm going in a different room in this house. It seems like we don't have very good reception.
Well,
can you hear me now?
We can hear you great. So welcome to CAC Live on KQCK Live. We're excited to have you. We're talking about the upcoming season of the Penn Center, and we're very much excited to have the New Christy Minstrels come and perform for us.
Well, you're cracking up, and I'm going to... Hey, come on up front porch, Randy. I'm sorry. I thought we had better reception in this. Okay, we're going to come out on the front porch.
That's what happens when things
Hopefully
are live.
That'll work.
Right. Sometimes you just
tell me if you have good reception.
We can hear you great.
Can you hear me now?
We can hear you wonderful. Yes. So I was just welcoming you to our show. Can you hear us now?
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. I really appreciate that. The bad news is you're cracking up on our end.
Well,
okay.
Maybe I'll just ask you a quick question. Have you just start talking? Just tell us a little bit about the New Christy Minstrels. I know you guys have been around since 1961. What was the inspiration to get started, and what keeps it going? You guys have been doing lots of shows for a long time.
Oh my gosh. This comes out like on this end. Shucks. Let's see. Are we on the air?
Yes, you are. You are. Can you tell us a little bit about? Can you tell us a little bit about your group and what you guys are looking at for your next year?
Is there any way that you could turn up your end of it or something?
You know what? What we'll do is we'll hang up and we'll try to call you again, see if that improves the reception, okay?
No, it doesn't. We're on the air, Randy, and we're cracking up. Okay, well, let's try this. I'm going to hand the phone to Randy, and we'll take it.
Hello.
Hello, Randy. Welcome to CAC Live. Can you hear us?
Well, I can barely hear you thanks to the new technology that we have. Younger people say that our world would be better if we fixed it according to their ideas of how to improve it, and that's ridiculous. We just have phones at work all the time. Anyway, I'm here.
Randy, we're excited to have you. Tell us about your show and what's coming up for the new Christian Minstrels.
Well, I'm excited about it. And did you know that Dora spelled backwards is A-Rod?
Yeah, I did.
I'll bet you've thought about that before. Anyway, I'm glad to be connected with you folks. You have a series of concerts out there, but you don't have one like ours. You've never had a show like ours. We're all old. You know, we're old people. And old people are not supposed to be exciting, but we, by God, are. We are the most exciting thing that you've ever seen that's over 80 years old.
We expect that of you all. That we're excited to have you.
Well, I'll tell you, I am so pleased to still be alive, and I am so thrilled to be going through the best days of my life, to be able to live again the excitement that I had in my youth. I'm doing it better this time because I'm so much smarter now. I mean, if I could only remember. It's really fun, and this is the best group that's ever been built, is the New Christy Minstrels. And I know something about that because I invented the group. I started the group, founded it 52 years ago. And we won our first Grammy 51 years ago. Isn't that weird?
That's amazing. I was going to ask you, what was it like to win a Grammy?
I can't hear that.
Well, tell us about winning that Grammy.
Well, you know, I'm having a real tough time with the connection. We should probably do this when we're on a landline somewhere where we can hear each other, because I'm going to give you the wrong answer in a minute.
Randy, just tell us your favorite story.
Here, maybe Becky Jo can hear you. Hold on.
Okay, what was the question? I'll try to interpret.
Oh, Becky Jo, I think we're doing good. If you can just have Randy tell us his favorite story, that would be great.
Okay, that came out like garble. I'm gonna guess. Okay, we do have a website, www.newchristyminstrels.com. And that tells a lot of history about Randy and the group. And we're on the air right now, Randy. And anyway, and so that's the information. But we want to ask you, Dora, where are tickets available for this wonderful concert series that we are a part of at the Arizona State College in Coolidge, Arizona? And where we get tickets to the 10th Theater for January, our concert, January 17th, 2014. Can you tell the public and us so we can spread the word of where to get tickets?
Absolutely. Thank you for that prompt. Our tickets will be available in August, so not just quite yet, but they will be online at www.events@cac.com. That's events@cac.com. And they're also available by phone. Great. At 520-477-SHOW. That's our phone number, 520-477-SHOW. And we can help folks at the events, and then we'll also have a mail order form that we send out to our to those that subscribe to our mailing list. So we're getting ready to get all that out in August, and we're excited to have the new Christian Minstrels come and be part of our season. And I even though you guys can't hear me very well, I can already tell that it's going to be a good time for all. So we appreciate you guys being on the phone and trying this out with us, and then we will see you in January on the 17th at the Penn Center in Coolidge.
Yes, we are so excited about coming over there, and we have people from all over the country that are in our group, and one of the people is David Dutchendorf. He's John Denver's uncle, and Randy Sparks gave John Denver his start in the music business, and he also named him Denver because little Johnny Dutchendorf was too long to put on the marquee. So isn't that funny? But anyway, here we have his uncle in our group. His name is Dave Dutchendorf, and Randy didn't even have to change his
I'm changing his name to Fred.
You're changing his name to Fred? Okay. That's funny. All right, well, we're excited about being there, and I'm sorry that we could only hear like the third word. Are you there?
Well, I just want to say thank you, and we'll say goodbye for now.
I think she's gone.
All right.
Wait a minute. Are you still on?
We're,
I guess she has me on hold. Are you? Am I on hold?
Becky Jo, we're saying goodbye. We'll talk to you later.
Hopefully next time we'll have a better connection.
Okay, I can hear every third word. I'm sorry. Could you repeat that one more time?
Thank you so much for being on. We'll talk to you later.
Okay,
Goodbye.
we'll talk later. I heard that.
Okay.
All right, thank you so
Thank
much.
you, guys.
Thanks for the opportunity. I'm sorry about the bad connection.
That's all right.
www.thenewchristianminstrels.com, and your tickets go on sale in August.
Yes.
We're very excited. We'll see you there, and please do call back when we have better connection.
Okay, we will.
Make more sense.
Sure do. Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you. You take care.
You too.
Well, if that is any inclination on the fun show that we're going to have, everybody that I mean, these guys have been touring forever, and so many people have seen them around the country. They do a great show. I mean, they have sparked so many other groups, and that sort of fun, have a good time, great music attitude is really what we're looking forward to.
Definitely. And what I didn't get a chance to ask Randy about, but if you do visit the website that she gave out, he does have a blog. And he actually, although he just mentioned he was over 80, he blogs fairly frequently, probably once or twice a month. And he writes the funniest stories. He's a great writer, and he is a funny man. So I definitely encourage everyone to come out and check out this show. So
That's great.
Well, we have a few minutes, and then we will be contacting our co-presenter, Mike Petit. Mike has been in the industry for a long time and is helping CAC bring these amazing acts to us. So we're excited to have him. We'll talk about some of the other premiere shows that we will have at the Penn Center. So for the next few minutes, I thought we'd change gears for just a minute and put Jerry in the spot and ask him about, so the Penn Center has all these cool gadgets, we've got lighting and sound. What's one thing, anything, if money was no object, that you want to have at the Penns that you don't?
If money was no object, actually modernizing the lighting instruments. We have new lighting systems, sound systems, everything. I mean, we're very, very well off. But the new lighting instruments are LED based. They give a brighter output. They save an enormous amount of electricity because light bulbs it's pure heat. It's pure waste. And so, when I put 150 lights up for a show, that's a lot of energy. That's a lot of power. And a lot of places to go greener is to invest in these new instruments. And so that is something that it's happening across the country, around the world, that people are moving to those type of instruments. But right now they're 3 and 4 times more than your basic instrument. And so when people are still babying what they have, it's kind of tough to make that crossover. But as budgets allow themselves, that's the one thing that would just be cream of the crop to not only continue the great work that we're doing in a facility that's just wonderful, is to go a little bit greener, because in entertainment can be kind of a wasteful world, because we're punching out shows and doing shows. We try to recycle as much as we can, but switching the lighting over would be a pretty big chunk of change, but it would save an enormous amount of energy, enormous amount of electricity, and still be brighter and purer light than we have today.
Wow. Well, cool. Maybe down the road.
Maybe down the road.
Well, I'm glad that Becky Jo had asked me about it, but I just want to tell you all that coming up in August, we will have a mailing. We'll have our season brochures ready sometime in August, and we'll have a mail order form for season tickets as well as you can go online. Our website is events@cac.com, and that has all of our events listed, not just the Pence events. We have community events throughout the county, at the Superstition campus, Arapahoe campus, throughout Maricopa, Santan Valley. Now we'll have all these locations that CEC is expanding to and having full campuses at. So we'll have events in all of those. Of course, most of them will be at the Penn Center, as that's where our theater is located, and luckily it's the central location for our county. So we hope that everyone comes down and checks it out. But yeah, all those events will be posted soon.
Now, I want to put you on the spot.
Okay.
Okay. Dora's been with us just over a year, and she puts on these great programs. With the season last year, which was amazing results, we had huge audiences, and then she's put this wonderful package together, the hundreds and hundreds of hours, and you're not going to see any of them.
No, I'm leaving CAC. Unfortunately, it's bittersweet. I've really enjoyed working with the folks that I work with, as well as this incredible artists and what we get to do. But my family's moving to Las Vegas, so we'll be.
It'll be nice to be closer to your mom.
Yes.
But we're going to miss Dora, and all these folks that are coming to these shows. This is Dora's baby. I mean, she puts this all together, and when Mike comes on here in a couple of minutes, he'll probably talk about that as well. That frankly, we wouldn't be where we are with the season and everything that's going on without Dora's guidance. It's been wonderful.
Well, thank you.
And I'm not happy she's leaving, but I know it's going to be great for her and her family. And plus, again, to be close to your mom, I think is a good thing. So it is bittersweet.
Yes, it is very much for me too. Well, it's Jojo. It's time for us to call Mike. If you could see if you can get him on the line, that would be great. But yeah, thank you for telling those kind words, Jerry. Of course, I don't do any of it alone. I have lots of helpers in my office. I work with Jennifer and Stella, and now we have Angela and Guy and Tom. So all of us work together in getting the word out. But I really appreciate it. It's been an amazing ride.
It's been great. And we keep talking about, we're going to change this, we're going to adjust this, every show we do, we try to make, after each show, we get in the lobby and we're just like, okay, for next time, how do we do this, how do we do that? And it's just been a great working relationship. And those don't always happen, and I've been so happy to be a part of it.
Yeah. Thanks, Jerry. Well, Mike, welcome to CAC Live on KQCK Live. Here you're talking with Dora Tompkins. We also have Jerry Deal here in the studio, who is our technical director of the Penn Center.
Hi, Mike.
How you doing?
Greetings. Hopefully it's cool and tropical breezes down there.
We're in Arizona. Mike, you've been here.
We are imagining.
I wanted to make one point. I heard Jerry talking about the theater. I think a lot of people, including myself initially, did not realize what a beautiful job the folks did down there with that theater. It's intimate. It's a 600-seat theater. There's not a bad seat in the house. I think it's a joy to play there, and been in the business about 42 years, and I tell you, you guys did a top job there. Nobody will be disappointed in the house.
Thanks for those compliments, Mike. It's really great to hear that from you, especially. You have been doing this for a long time. As you know, we just got done talking with Nancy and Randy and Becky Jo, and we are excited to hear a little bit more about some of the other premiere shows that we're working on with you. Would you tell us a little bit about maybe the Tony Kenny's Irish Christmas? We're excited that's our first show in December.
Tony Kenny was one of the premier, and still is, premier artist in Ireland, and for many, many years was with a cabaret troupe called Jury's Irish Cabaret. What he has done now is he has put that show on the road, and they're going to be in Coolidge on Thursday, December 19th, 7 p.m. show. And the show is just typical Irish. They got the comedian, they've got the Irish dancers, they've got the music, and Tony Kenny is one of the top tenors out of Ireland when tenors were tenors, and he is good. And the whole show, about 14, 15 people, it is going to be a great time and a great celebration for the holidays. So I encourage people to be looking at that show, and also the other shows that we have. Coming back again, we've got the new Shanghai Circus. It's an all-new show. The Chinese government is involved in that, and they have 6 sites throughout China that prepare these artists, and they are marvelous acrobats. And to come on the road, they also have their own theater in Branson. So this is a legitimate group. They will be switching groups from last year. They'll have a new group on the road. So we look forward to seeing the Shanghai Acrobats on Tuesday, January 28th. And again, that'll be an evening performance. The last show that will be wrapping things up will be a St. Patrick's Day celebration. And that should be fun for everybody. It's right on the weekend. It's on a Saturday night, March 15th. And Noel V. Kennedy, who is Ireland's best-known comedian, he leads a troupe of, again, singers and dancers. They will have a troupe of about 14, and the singer's a fellow by the name of Andy Cooney, who has been out in the Arizona area many times. And again, these are all Irish people. So we really look for those 3 shows plus the 2 that you discussed earlier, looking for a great season, and look forward to being down in Coolidge.
Thanks, Mike. We appreciate your help in getting these wonderful shows. Talking with the new Christian minstrels, we're glad that we have them too. I actually had a couple of requests for them to come out. So our audience lets us know what they want, and we do our best to provide them with wonderful shows. And Mike, I wanted to ask you, you've been doing this for a long time. Do you have a favorite artist or genre, or what do you enjoy the most?
Could you repeat that question?
Do you have a favorite artist, or maybe a genre of type of performances that you enjoyed the most?
Well, I guess the question is about artists, and most of the artists that we have worked with prior to the coming to Coolidge or Yuma or some of the other markets that we play in. And these artists, some of them are out of foreign countries, some of them are local. In the case of the Jimmy Dorsey Band, I think they're Arizona folks. And so it gives you quite an array of talent. And certainly, I think people should realize they can come out and see some shows at a very nominal cost compared to what you would go and see in downtown Phoenix at any of the major theaters there.
Yeah. Well, definitely.
Yeah, Mike, I have my youngest Marie here with us today. She just happened to be sitting in. Now that school's out, she's hanging out with Daddy today. And I asked her earlier. I said, "What was of all the shows we're doing? What did she want to see? What did you say?"
I said the Irish dancers, but
why'd you say the Irish dancers?
Because I'm Irish, but still, like the
Chinese acrobats.
Yeah, they were actually really good too. I really liked them, except like I guess they were like rehearsing so hard like earlier. They like did a couple mistakes.
Yeah, well, they do all the balancing and everything. It's an amazing show, and like Mike was saying, that it's a different troupe this year. And then some of my family live in Branson. They've seen yet a different troupe. So everyone's that come in, and those are some of the hardest working. They're all very young.
And I failed to mention, Jerry, they're carrying about 30 performers.
Oh,
so
wow!
There'll be enough people on stage, and you certainly have a fine stage as far as a proscenium, as far as being able to accommodate that. So again, we really look forward to being down in Coolidge with all these shows.
And you know what's great is Mike, and I think that's part of you bringing folks in is the people that we have worked with last year, and I'm looking at the same for this year. Is these are good people when they come in. a lot of them, there's so many that are just down to earth, just want to do a great show, and that's it. They just want to have a good time and have a great show. They're appreciative of what we give them. We're appreciative of what they give us, and I really appreciate those performers, and it really makes a great evening of entertainment.
Yeah, well,
we're happy to be part of the series that Dora and yourselves have put together. And as I said before, this is going to be a good season. I think we have broad enough shows, and I look forward to seeing New Christie Minstrels. I think I saw them when I was a boy, and that was a long, long time ago.
Well, Mike, thank you so much for filling us in about these upcoming shows, and thanks for your work on all of them. And we'll be talking with you soon. So thank you for coming on CAC Live, and we'll talk to you later.
Thanks, Mike.
Thank you. Bye now.
Well, we're coming close to the end of CAC Live, so we appreciate your time listening to CAC Live on KQCK Live. You've had your host, Dora Tompkins, filling in for Tom DeCamillo. He'll be back next week. We appreciate Jerry Dill for coming in, and Marie for joining us today.
Thank you for having us. Did you have fun, baby girl?
Oh, yeah.
Well, we'll be, like I said, we'll have everything available for you very soon at www.events@cac.com. Thanks for your time.
Got termites gnawing on your house? Do you have a pest problem in or around your home or your business? At Lights Out Exterminating, we provide either the solution or